A journey that ends in a screaming, blinding furnace of light, or ends in darkness, cool and still. You walk it with a quick puppet strut of slapstick, or you walk it slow. Slow like the last walk you'll ever take. Whatever way it is, it's my beat. Broadway is full of people that are like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. One of them, if you put them together right, will turn out to be Jed Stacy, scandal reporter for a rag that reports scandals. If it's a hot August evening and he's wearing his Hollywood shirt and yellow silk mohair pants, $90 the outfit, he'll buy you a free meal for a price.
Jacques, bring us prosciutto with melon, vichyssoise, shrimp poulette, and a decent white wine. You got that?
Oui, Monsieur Stacy.
Yeah.
Okay, Jed. Why the banquet?
Ah, you know me, don't you, Danny? I don't give nothing for nothing. I don't get nothing for nothing.
Yeah, that's life, like Jacques says.
Yeah. Look, Danny, I got a note in the mail today. A typewritten note. I want to read it to you.
Something you wrote?
No, this has class. Here's what it says. Dear columnist, if you need a prophecy, here's a prophecy. A girl, Jane Darnell, will be found murdered tonight. That's a prophecy. Now, just checking, Danny, you got a corpse named Jane Darnell?
No. Give me that note. Give it to me.
Sure. Here, Danny, I'm through with it. It'll be in my column tomorrow anyway. It's all set up.
Why didn't you give me this before?
Ah, you know us scribes, Danny. We clutch things to our bosom. Besides, what good would it do you? If Jane Darnell is going to be killed, how would you stop it?
You'd play nursemaid to a murder for a beat, wouldn't you, Jed? You're getting too large, kid. Too large.
Take it easy, Danny. First, you got to find the little lady. It's a tough thing to do. Even for a guy like you, it's a tough thing.
There's a telephone call for you, Monsieur Stacy.
No, thanks, Jack. Plug it in here, will you?
Oui, monsieur.
Excuse me, Danny. Yeah? Yeah, this is Stacy. Where? Okay. Yeah, you get a fin. Yeah, the same to you. Come on, Danny.
We going someplace?
Yeah, to the room of a Jane Darwell. She's asleep in it, Danny. Dead asleep. Just like I prophesy in tomorrow's column.
In here, Lieutenant. Right over there on the bed.
Yeah, Sergeant, I see. Strangled, huh? With a silk stocking.
I'm not a guy who knows about a thing like this, Danny, but it looks like the murder weapon is a pretty inferior piece of merchandise. $1.98 will get you 3 pairs.
Take your hands off that stocking, Jed.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure, Danny. Police methods. I should have known better.
Okay, Sergeant, give me the rundown.
Call from the landlady at 8:10 p.m.
Yeah?
Landlady's story as follows. She returned here at 5 after 8, and then she...
Where'd she return from?
Corner bar. She spent the afternoon there singing Ghost Riders in the Sky and nursing a 10-cent beer for 6 hours. They threw her out at 8 sharp. We checked.
Go on.
Well, the landlady knocked at the door of Jane Darnell, the deceased. Upon receiving no answer, she walked in and found the deceased thus. Like so.
Okay. Where's the landlady now?
I peeked across the hall when we came in, Danny.
Yeah?
There's a little old lady sitting in a rocker with a compress on a little wrinkled forehead and a little wrinkled nose on top of a big bottle. Landlady, huh?
Yeah,
Right in here, laddie. Come on, right in this room.
Take your hands off of me. I've been walking a long time without your help.
Who's this, officer?
A man who says he lives here. A man who
My
says his name is...
name's Mac Taylor. What's going on here?
Okay, officer, that's all. What's your business here, Mr. Taylor?
I live here. Now answer a question for me. What's this all about?
Did you know Jane Darnell?
Oh, my Shirley. She takes 2 hours every Saturday night in the bathroom. And she is the... Oh, that's her over on the bed. What's the matter with her?
She's dead. Murdered.
Murdered? But who did it?
Mr. Taylor, there's millions of people in New York. A little while ago, one of those millions of people came into this room and wrapped a silk stocking around Jane Darnell's neck. The person who did that was the person who murdered her. Do you know who it was, Mr. Taylor? Mr. Taylor didn't. She was just the other renter in the boarding house as far as he was concerned. She never even smiled at him, he said. Man, you'd have to be mighty strange to kill a girl for that, he assured me. I assured him he'd better stick around. And then I went home and had indigestion all night from the meal Jed Stacy ordered that I never ate. The next morning, I spent the first 2 hours mulling over what I had in the murder of Jane Darnell. It came to 2 things. All I had was a girl in the morgue and a typewritten note saying she'd be there. Or, as Sergeant Tartaglia put it...
All we got, Danny, is a girl in the morgue and a typewritten note saying she'd be there.
Tartaglia, would you mind repeating that?
Oh, sure, Danny. I said all we got is a...
Never mind. Anything on that typewritten note Jed Stacy gave me? Kind of typewriter, stationery?
Oh, typed on a Corona Portable. New model. Cheap grade of stationery. 5 and 10 cent store stuff.
Routine check, turn up anything?
No, not yet. I can't find a thing on this Jane Darnell. No friends, no relatives, nothing, Danny. Well, looks like this will be a tough one for us to crack.
It'll take time, Tartaglia, but it'll crack. Danny Clover speaking. What? Who is this? Tartaglia, trace this call.
Yeah.
Who is this speaking? I can't hear you. Speak louder, huh? Yeah, I got that. When? Who is this speaking? Hello? Hello? What? Oh, look, operator, I was talking to someone and we were cut off. I see. Well, thank you, operator. Tartaglia!
Calm and efficient service,
You traced
Danny.
the call?
Oh, sure.
Well, what?
Traced it to a phone booth in Grand Central Station.
Oh, fine.
That call was important?
Tartaglia, I was just speaking to a murderer.
Yeah? Well, what did he have to say? A murderer?
Yeah, a murderer who was disguising his voice. He had to say just this. He had to say he did quite a job on Jane Darnell, and tonight he was going to do a better one on a friend of hers. A friend named Mary Smith.
Mary Smith? Hey, I know a Mary Smith. Which Mary Smith, Danny? Which Mary Smith?
Tartaglia was right. In a city of 8 million, what chance do you have of finding a Mary Smith? If it's the Mary Smith who's going to be struck down by a murderer, the odds are precisely 1 in 8 million. You come up with Mary Smiths, all right. You trace one of them to Sing Sing, where she was doing 20 years for dynamiting a bank. Another Mary Smith left her husband's bed and board in Poughkeepsie. And you talk to a Mary Smith who says...
Mister, my name's Mary Smith, and I know a secret. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
So you try again.
Forgive me, sir, for have kept you waiting. It wasn't my hour for meditation.
Are you Mary Smith?
Yes, of course I am Mary Smith. In China, my name is Letsu. But since I am in America, I have adopted a name that is 100% American. Mary Smith.
And do you know a Jane Darnell?
No, I am sure I do not. Jane Darnell. Oh, Americans have such a strange name.
Yeah.
Danny! Hey, Danny, hop in. I want to take you someplace where maybe you ought to be.
Move your hearse out of the way, Jed. I might scrape the polish with my shabby squad car.
Oh, now, Danny, you don't like me anymore. That hurts.
I like you. Now, will you move your car?
They told me at headquarters you'd be here. Now, look, if you check with me, I could have saved you wear and tear, Danny.
I'll make a note. Always check with Jed Stacy. He'll save you wear and tear. Or maybe I can buy it tomorrow for a nickel.
You're fighting me, boy. You're fighting me.
Get out of my way. You got nothing to say to me. Nothing I want to hear.
You'll want to hear this, Danny. The Mary Smith you're looking for, I know where she is.
Where?
Well, if we're still friends, I'll tell you where.
Cut it down to a number in a street.
10 West 16, Danny. A sordid walk-up, a scabrous
How do
dwelling.
you know so much, paper boy?
Anonymous phone call, Danny. Anonymous voice. Voice gives me address and particulars. Particulars? Anonymous girl named Mary Smith. Now we're friends again, huh, Danny? Huh?
Miss Smith. Miss Smith. Open up, Miss Smith. It's the police. Maybe you should open it yourself, Clover. Yeah. Miss Smith. The girl named Mary Smith was home. She wasn't anonymous anymore. The scrawl of blood on her clean cotton dress gave her an identity. And the ice pick thrust deep into her throat was like an ugly pin that held her in one place in one time. And death hadn't yet washed away the torture and the strain and the horror that was frozen in the carved lines of her body. The draft from the door I had crashed open moved her hair in gentle whirls away from her face. Then I saw her hand holding something tight, like a claw. It held onto it tight. It was a typewritten note. It said, "What girl next, police? What girl next? I give you a riddle. There were 2 that will be 3. Who will it be? Who will it be?"
are listening to Broadway's My Beat with Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover. Those two outstanding adventure shows, Escape and Crime Photographer, will bring you new thrills, new chills, just a little later tonight. Casey, crime photographer, will encounter a wealthy stamp collector, his two sons, and a strange murder in Death of a Stranger. Escape will present another Thursday thriller in Red Wine by Lawrence Blockman. This Thursday, every Thursday, hear Escape and Crime Photographer on most of these same CBS network stations. Now back to Broadway's My Beat.
Broadway all depends on the mood you're in. You can be part of the mob and perform for the sightseers, or you can write notes about murdering women and go about your business of murdering. In the latter case, Broadway dangles from strings. Broadway performs for a madman. It puts on a mask of horror and talks in whispers. 2 people had died violently, and the clues I had for their dying were about as valuable as a pinch of dust. Correction, I had a thing of value. Another note. What girl next, the note said. It would be valuable if I knew what girl next. The only ray of sunshine at headquarters next morning was a police sergeant named Tartaglia, who did all sorts of remarkable things with details and file cards and pencil sharpeners.
Morning, Danny. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yeah, what have we got, Tartaglia?
Well, I checked Judge Stacy, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good alibi. He was with you at the approximate time of both murders.
Only approximate. How long does it take to kill a person? Hey, what did you find on that border, Mac Taylor?
Oh, he's got an answer for every question we ask him. Right now, we're still checking the answers. So far, Mac Taylor's been telling the truth.
Okay. What's in that envelope?
Oh, in this envelope, Danny, intelligence from the FBI.
With Los Angeles still operating, it's a wonder they had the time. Let's see it.
Yeah, sure. Here. You know, on account of we didn't have any data on Jane Darnell and Mary Smith, I wired their prints down to Washington like
you should have.
Yeah. This data you're holding was wired back. Hey, those boys in Washington sure work.
Hey, look at this, Tartaglia.
Huh?
A link. A link between Jane Darnell and Mary Smith. Washington had their prints because they worked in a war plant.
That tells you something, Danny?
Maybe. Maybe a lot. They both worked for the same outfit, the Westfold Tool Company, a manufacturing firm across the river in Jersey. Get my hip boots, Tartaglia. I'm going to take a boat ride.
You want to see me?
You're the foreman?
Yeah.
Can't we go somewhere where we can talk?
What?
I said, can't we go...
Let's go somewhere where we can talk, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you want to see me about, mister?
I'm Danny Clover, New York Police Department.
Oh, glad to know you. I'm Freddie Ney, Punch Press Department.
You've been working in this department long, Mr. Ney?
Oh, 10 years. Why?
Try this in your memory. Jane Darnell and Mary Smith. What does that do to you?
Jane Darnell, Mary Smith, oh, yeah, it does something to me, all right. Yeah, they worked here side by side in my department, right through the war and after we converted automobile parts.
And what else?
Well, they quit about a year ago, within a week of each other.
Within a week of each other, huh? How would that figure, Mr. Ney?
Well, they were chummy. Jane Darnell and Mary Smith were in a carpool with another girl. All 3 of them rode to work in Jane's car.
This other girl, who was she?
I don't know. She wasn't in my department.
Does your personnel department keep records of people who ride together in carpools?
No, never did. We got all the paperwork we can handle.
Yeah. Where's the phone?
Right over there.
Thanks. Can I get an outside line on this?
Sure. I guess that's about all I can tell you about those 2, Mr. Clover.
Well, maybe it was enough. Hello? Motor vehicles? Give me registration.
Anything else, Mr. Clover?
No, that'll be all. Registration? This is Danny Clover. Want the make and the model of a car owned by Jane Darnell. Yeah, motor number 2.
You sure there's nothing else, Mr. Clover? I enjoy aiding and abetting the police.
I said that's all. You can go now. Yeah? Yeah? DeSoto sedan, 1947. Motor number 137596. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. Get the operator to connect me.